Racing Setups is the longest running setup shop on iRacing. Our monthly subscription options start as low as $20 a month. We offer setups for dirt oval, asphalt oval, and road racing, covering a wide range of cars and skill levels. Built and tested by top-tier sim racers, this isn't just a business, it's a community of competitive drivers. If you want to better your iRacing experience, head over to PremierRacingSetups.com today. And remember, if you don't get one, you're going to chase one.
Good evening, race fans, and welcome to the show. I'm Brett the Jet in the booth with Turn 3 Racing Network, and tonight we have a good one here. It is race number 8 for the 802 Winston Cup Series here tonight at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. These drivers getting ready to do 140 laps. That is the distance here tonight. But first and foremost, we got to head on over to qualifying and see where everyone stacks on up here and see who walks away with that Rock Pirates RC Pole Award here tonight. Cars starting to rock and roll to the speedway, and we'll take a look here at the 3 machine. This is Chris Muse. Muse, the quickest car in practice, so we'll see what he has up his sleeve here for qualifying. As the 3 car here heads down the back straightaway, we'll get that car up to speed. We'll probably run the top side here in 3 and 4, get that car wound up, because here tonight qualifying, we're going to see drivers stay wide open as long as possible. I believe down in turns 1 and 2, you might have to maybe just blip it, maybe 3 and 4 as well. But this track here tonight with these cars going to be how long can you hold the car wide open? What kind of momentum can you carry? As you saw Muse, as he got down to the bottom there in 1 and 2, crossed over those bumps and that car got a little loose. You saw a little wiggle, so that will slow him down just a little bit. And that's all the difference it takes here in qualifying. As Muse here off of turn number 4 for the completion of lap number 1. The 3 machine will throw down a 29.86, so that will put him P number 9. We'll see if he can improve here on lap number 2. And once again, you see those bumps in 1 and 2. That's going to be the big talking point here tonight when it comes to the races. Who can navigate those bumps the best? Who can keep their car underneath them for all 140 laps here in this one. Off of turn number 4 though for Muse here on lap 2 of 2. The 3 machine will cross the stripe, does improve inside the top 10. Will put himself P number 9 at 29.73 for Muse. Right now it is Jeff Pogo with the quick time there with a 29.59. We'll see if anyone can knock him off the top, as here we go. We got defending champion Anthony Calatoni out on the speedway. We'll see what the 84 machine can do here in qualifying. So far here tonight, 22 drivers have taken a lap time. I believe about 32 or so drivers on the premise for the race here in this one. So we'll see where everyone kind of will shake on out in qualifying after a little bit, as Calatoni here on his first lap has not put in a time, but here off at turn number 4 drifts up to that middle lane here. We'll see if that costs him some time or if that helped keep some momentum, as Calatoni across the stripe lap number 1. Good enough for P number 5, a 29.65. So the 84 machine going to try and find that last half a tenth maybe on lap number 2, but running the top side in 1 and 2, probably not the exact line you need, but we'll see if that works out for Calatoni, as I've never really tried to qualify this combo, so don't exactly know what I'm fully talking about. When do I ever, I guess, but Calatoni will get a piece of the wall though off of turn number 4. Will not count this lap, so he will stick with that 29.65 for the 84 machine. John Crosby just crossed the stripe, able to jump up to P number 11 for the 73 machine. Brandon Hinton inside the top 15. The 5 machine able to jump to P number 14. So it looks like about 2 cars yet to qualify here in this one. We'll see if they can make it out to the speedway before the end of this one. But Brandon Hinton here in this 5 machine able to throw down a 29.77. So like I said, good enough to put him inside the top 15. P number 14 looks like will be his spot. As looks like our final qualifier here tonight, the driver that has started this season on an absolute hot streak, Josh Parker, able to get out on the speedway. So we'll see what the 26 machine car can do. Parker, one of those drivers that enjoys starting at the back of the field, kind of manage his race, see what kind of pace he needs to have, and of course pass a lot of race cars. But it looks like Parker getting after it here on lap number 1, at least for the most part. We'll see what it looks like here down the back straightaway. But yeah, it looks like Parker throwing down a lap time, so we'll see if he can get to the stripe in time. And it looks like it will be just quite not good enough, as it will be Jeff Pogo for the first time this season walking away with the Rock Pirates RC pole award to the 97 machine. So Pogo, not having some luck, decided a few weeks ago switch manufacturers, put a Ford on that thing, and here tonight at Vegas gonna lead the field to the green flag. So congrats to Jeff on the pole award. And I think for the poles here in the Winston Cup Series, Jeff Pogo now has 5, tying him with Anthony Calatoni after this one. So what do we say we head down now trackside and go through tonight's starting lineup here tonight for the High Roller 210 at Las Vegas. Alrighty, folks, tonight's starting lineup will look like the following here. Jeff Pogo, of course, walking away with that pole award, will lead the field to green flag, as James Hitzloff in that 92 machine will start on the outside of the front row. Grant Humphrey in that 48 machine will start on the inside of row number 2, and Mike Kelly in the 22 machine will start in 4th. Rounding out the top 5, that will be the 84 machine of Anthony Calatoni. And to his outside, a great qualifying effort by this guy here. Michael Wolf in the 20 machine will roll off in 6th. Starting in 7th, that will be the 6 car now of Johnny Barker. To his outside will be his teammate, the 21 of Rob Lowell. Tyler Humphrey in the 7 machine, he will roll off in 9th. And Scott Simley will round out the top 10 in the 33. John Crosby here will start in P number 11, and Chris Muse in the 3 car will start in 12th. 13th will be Joe Hudson. 14th going to Brandon Hinton. Dan George here will start in 15th. Jim Ott will roll off in P16. Arabia Caton, he will start in 17th. 18th going into Donald Sieb in the starting 18th, Chris Progar in the 11 will start 19th. Steve Ritter in the 61 rounding out the top 20, as Evan Fuqua will start 21st. Todd Perot will start 22nd. Eli Raposa rolling off 23rd, as Nick Barton here rounds out the 24th position. Rolling off 25th is Nate Brooker. Alan Harris starting in 26th. 27th going to Jason Arison. Frank Zingen in 28th. Dylan Hinton 29th, as Josh Parker 31st. And Brandon Guerin will roll off in 30th. So that will do it for tonight's starting lineup as we get ready to rock and roll. It's going to be Jeff Pogo, James Hitzloff on the front row to get things rocking and rolling. 140 laps going to be the distance here in this one. Who will roll the dice and come out on top? Can Josh Parker pick up yet another win this season, or will it be Calatoni here going for 2 wins on the season? Will it be a first-time winner? We'll find out here shortly. The iRacing pace car heads down pit road, and now it is to Jeff Pogo leading the field to green, and we go green flag racing here tonight at Las Vegas. Cars going up through the gears as we pick up speed heading into turn number 1. Field going to be 2 by 2 for as far as I could see. Chris Mew's first car to jump out of line. He will take a peek to the outside as Sinley won't quite have the momentum. So they go back 2 by 2, but it is Jeff Pogo by himself out in front. James Hipsloff able to get clear. First battle side by side for third, not anymore as Mike Kelly will take that spot as now Grant Humphrey under fire some more. Now Anthony Calatoni to the inside. Lap number 1 here in the book so far. Jeff Pogo out in front. Grant Humphrey though taking it very, very easy here on lap number 1. So Humphrey definitely into some tire saving if he can, because he has already dropped outside of the top 5, not putting up any sort of fight for position. So this 48 machine thinking the long game here, going to say, you know what, I'm going to take care of my stuff here at the start. We'll try and make this to the end as well as we can. As a 1 car bouncing it off the wall there off of turn number 4. I believe that was the 4 car of Jim Ott. Ott, of course, running a new paint scheme here on that 4 machine. So get rid of that white and blue look. Now replace it with a little bit of red, little bit of flare of maybe some gold as well. So that car looking pretty sporty, as though it looks like he is all right. Don't see any damage on the right side, as that time off of turn number 4. I believe now it was the 7 machine of Tyler Humphrey getting a piece of the wall there. So one of those pinch points here in this race is going to be that turn 4 exit. We talked a little bit during qualifying about the bumps in 1 and 2. That's going to be the main talking point. But the other thing that drivers are going to have to kind of keep in the back of their mind, they're off at turn number 4. The banking goes away as you're still exiting the corner. I'll see if I can maybe ride on board here with Mike Kelly, trying to run down our race leader here and kind of talk about it off at turn number 4 here. But the banking kind of goes on away just as you're really getting into the power. So that can cause, a lot of wheel spin, cause this car to get really out of control in a hurry. Right here you hear Mike Kelly starting to pick it up, and right about here that banking goes away in a hurry. And if you have too much wheel in the car, that thing's going to snap around. Or if you don't have enough front end traction, just like we've seen a few times here already in this one, you can go out there and kind of smack that wall off at turn number 4 if you don't have the right angle. So both Grant and Tyler continue to slide down the order here in this one. They are going big time tire and I believe now fuel saving. So those guys, I believe fuel window right around 65 laps. So I believe that 48 going to try and save enough fuel to stretch us for a one-stop race right from the start of the race. And I think that's why he is doing this strategy, giving up this track position in hopes, let's say, of having this run go green to the end, and he will be on pretty much, I believe, the winning strategy if that were to happen. That, of course, all comes undone if we get a caution, but so far so good out here as we take a look at the deeper in the field, I should say, as cars continue to start to work their way up towards the front. And of course, the 26 of Josh Parker, the Josh Parker update here on lap number 8. The 26 machine has made it up 4 spots to 27, so still a lot of work ahead of that car. Of course, Brandon Guerin, another car that started deep in this one in the 1. He has made up 2 spots, running in 30th, but as you can see here, right with the pack, his old 1 car big time sideways. I believe that was the 11 machine of Chris Progar, as he had a big time moment. Heck of a save by him, but that definitely checked up the field and spread out things quite a bit, especially towards the back. But man, a heck of a save there by the 11. We're gonna see here if we can catch the 11 here, what happened to him, as here through 3 and 4, it looks like just got a little bit of the bumps back and steps out on the race car. I think at the same exact time, the 30 machine also had a very similar incident. Didn't lose as much time, but he had a moment just like we saw the 11. So now right rear traction starting to become just a little bit of a factor, as too much wheel right there at the apex, you'd think, hey, that's where I got to put the most wheel in, get this car pointed. Well, too much wheel in these cars, the little bit that I have driven, it seems like once you start rolling into the throttle, you can break the traction in the right rear just by kind of the front wheel steering angle, it seems like. And that, what we could be seeing here is, of course, that gets, you know, amplified with tire wear and tire heat. That, of course, we'll see it continue to happen, as this racetrack definitely going to be pretty toasty here as we are under the Vegas sun here. And that means this track temp only going to continue to rise as cars continue to run laps. There's almost contact there off of turn number 4 as the 99 and the 7 almost make contact as Tyler Humphrey continue and just try and ride, get out of the way, but of course save that fuel in that race car. So besides Grant Humphrey falling outside of the top 5, no real big change up there. We have Jeff Pogo, of course, leading the way, has led every single lap so far here tonight in this one. Mike Kelly, of course, keeping him honest as Kelly now going to make a move for the race lead as Kelly will wrap the bottom. Jeff Pogo going to have the momentum, though, down the back straightaway, but Mike Kelly starting to show a few of his cards here, showing what kind of speed or grip that 22 machine has. So we got to keep an eye on this because, of course, right there behind them, Cal Tony sits in the wings. James Hitzloff right there as well. And Michael Wolfman, was great there in qualifying. And this 20 machine having a lot of speed here tonight in this one, running inside the top 5 early on in this one. Once again, Mike Kelly running the bottom side there in 1 and 2, able to make up a little bit of time on that 97 machine here into turn number 3. Going to take a peek to the left rear quarter panel here. So Kelly going to try and wrap that bottom. Jeff Pogo going to keep the momentum, will keep the race lead, but Mike Kelly not going to go away here anytime soon. So we'll see if Pogo will step up the pace or what Mike Kelly has as well kind of hidden in his sleeve to try and take this race lead. Scott Simley, Steve Ritter here going side by side a little bit there in turns 1 and 2. Ritter currently running up through the running order here, has made up 8 spots since start of this one, and now trying to get another as he tries to get around Simley right in front of them. Almost contact, I thought, between Dan George and Chris Muse. Close call there off of turn number 4, but no harm, no foul as up towards the front. Trouble for Mike Kelly as Kelly back to P number 4, make it P number 5 now, as I believe that 22 machine may have gotten a little bit loose off of turn number 2, and that is what killed his momentum. Luckily for Kelly, able to keep that race car rolling in the right direction as he will continue to try and fight and try and get that track position back. So here we go, Mike Kelly into turn number 1. Once again, looking to the inside of Jeff Pogo, and already contact there between the two of them. So we're going to try and take a look if we can at a different view, but they may have made contact a little bit on corner entry, and Mike Kelly really backed on out of it there. As you see Pogo even slowed on up just a little bit as well. So contact between the two of them. Luckily, no harm, no foul. As old trouble here down the front straightaway, Frank Zingen, another driver with a great save here tonight in this one. 62 machine goes for an almost slide there off of turn number 4. We'll take a look at this happening just a few moments ago as Frank Zingen drifting up the racetrack right in front of Chris Proder and may have got a little bit air packed on the back bumper, but also he was drifting on up. That's going to unload that race car just that little bit, put that extra wheel in it to keep off the wall, and that 62 machine, heck of a save by him. Out in front, though, battle for the race lead, a Chevy versus now a Ford, as Anthony Calatoni to the inside of Jeff Pogo. Those two going to go side by side. Calatoni going to get loose there off at turn number 4 to the inside of Pogo. So he will fall back into P number 2 as James Hitzloff now within striking distance. So once again, a 3-car battle for this race lead as currently already 20 laps into this one here tonight, all under the green flag. And I tell you what, still racing all around the speedway as we look back at this battle 2x2, 2 rows deep, as Rob Lowell making his way back up through the field. Chris Muse, Scott Simley trying to go side by side as well right in front of them. Josh Parker update. Last time I gave it, he was about 27th, 28th. Will now make that 26 car up to 18th. So inside of the top 20 in that 26 machine, continuing to try to march up through the field as now he tries to work over the 99. That is Alan Harris trying to run strong up on the top side. Right behind them, Donald Sieb sits in that 06 machine. So looks like Parker able to get that pass done there off of turn number 4, as out in front still a battle for the race lead. Jeff Pogo trying to hold off Anthony Calatoni and James Hislop here. Let's ride on board with Pogo here, looking on back to these cars as Calatoni going to go run the middle to top lane in 3 and 4, try and build up a big run here down the front straightaway, but looks like that plan might be foiled as the 92 machine to the inside of Calatoni. Looks like Calatoni says, you know what, you go try and get around Pogo, but you can see in the distance now Mike Kelly starting to drive back up to this battle. That white and orange 22 machine looming in the distance. Let's ride on board with our race leader, Jeff Pogo. So you see Hislop in that black Havoline machine. As soon as they get into the corner, he will tuck out from behind the 97, try and get into that clean air, get that front end to set, get a little bit more downforce. But man, Mike Kelly, a power move there into turn number 3. It's going to be 3 wide for a second for P number 2. But man, Mike Kelly, he is on a mission. He is trying to get back up to this race lead in a hurry as he tries to do just that here. Kelly not quite able to complete the pass there on the 92 machine, but back up into P number 3. As Jeff Pogo, of course, trying to defend. He is trying to keep that momentum rocking and rolling up on the top side. As here comes the 11 of Chris Broger, making a power move there, able to get around the 42, and now to the outside of the 99 of Alan Harris. So a good move there by that Motion.com number 11, as he will try and keep that momentum rocking and rolling up on the top side. Johnny Barker, John Crosby, both of them have now cracked up into the top 5 as well. So the 6 and the 73, once again, players when it comes to a long run. And here tonight with 27 green flag laps, those two have started to drive to the front as well. So far, just like we had tonight, 31 cars took the green flag, still 31 cars out on the speedway, 31 cars still on the lead lap. So everyone racing for position, whether for the race lead or dead last. Every spot matters, as man, Mike Kelly now within 3 car lengths of Jeff Pogo for the race lead. Once again, we see the 22 machine of Mike Kelly down to this bottom side of the racetrack. And I tell you what, if these two are the dominant forces of tonight's race, man, I tell you what, I think both of them would be pumped up just to have a podium finish. But, man, these two have had a rough season so far here in this one. That, of course, being the 97 and the 22. But we'll see what they can have as now Calatoni. He has momentum once again. Calatoni now going to put it on the fence, going to try and build up as much momentum as he can, as here comes a big time energy push by the 84. Where will Mike Kelly go? He will take the momentum, drive it down to the inside lane here in 3 and 4. Now here comes Johnny Barker and John Crosby. They are within the mix as well. The 92 machine of James Hipsoff starting to fade on back just a little bit from this top 5. As here we go, Jeff Pogo switching it on up, entered in the middle lane, drove down to the bottom. Kelly reacted, he let that car drift up to the fence, but it'll be Jeff Pogo with the advantage. We'll see if the 97 does that move again. Pogo has been running this middle to top lane, so that is what drivers behind him are expecting. The 97 can start playing the next gen racing game, starting to pick lanes, see how much he wants to drive that mirror and keep full concentration on hitting his marks. Barker trying to keep momentum there on the bottom side. That will open up the door up top to the 73 machine of John Crosby. As you saw Barker make the move on Cal Tony, could not get the pass done, and it cost him his spot as Crosby now with some momentum. Here comes now Mike Kelly to the inside of Pogo. Man, at the stripe, did Pogo lead the lap? That was close. As Kelly, though, able to get clear. Can Pogo keep his foot in it? Yes, he can. He's able to get to the outside of the 22 machine. Man, if you're Mike Kelly, you might want that one back, as he was definitely clear. Could have drifted up to the fence, but this in and out 22 machine, I think confident with how this race car is feeling, and decides to keep it rolling. As wow, John Crosby power move. He will get to the inside of Mike Kelly. Jeff Pogo now by himself out in front, can run any lane he wants, and once again he will go up to this top side, split that top side seam right about where that racetrack kind of changes colors from the rubber. But man, John Crosby, he took his time, took care of those tires. This 73 is going to be bad fast here late in this run, as he will now take a look to the inside of Jeff Pogo. It's going to be a drag race to the stripe. It will be Pogo by inches, so still it has been the 93 machine leading all, I believe 33, for sure 32 laps so far here tonight. But John Crosby could be the one to get it done, get back clear. The only driver that has been in front of Pogo, Mike Kelly, he was able to do so for just a corner. But we'll see what the 73 has here in 3 and 4. Able to drive it in there deep, have it stick. He's a nose ahead here off of turn number 4. Jeff Pogo got a little bit loose trying to get back into the throttle, but that doesn't affect him too much. Able to keep the momentum, keep that car rocking and rolling, as man, Jeff Pogo still holding strong up in that top side of the racetrack. Behind them, Johnny Barker now trying to split Mike Kelly and Anthony Calatoni. Won't quite happen there. As Calatoni, big time moment. Heck of a save by the 84 machine, as he was almost about 45 degrees sideways, as I think he just got a little bit of air kind of packed on him right at the very end. That car, of course, snapped right on around. But man, heck of a save by Calatoni to hang on to that race car, because that thing was wicked sideways off of turn number 4. And of course, you saw that red number 4 machine to the inside of Calatoni. That's right, another driver trying to make it a repeat win season so far in this season. The 4-car Jim Ott, he has driven on up inside the top 10, and Ott trying to get P number 6 away from Calatoni, but got a little bit out of the rhythm there. Gonna have to try and set his head back down, get back into rhythm, and try and chase down that 84. So Barker able to get around Mike Kelly, so Johnny Barker up into 3rd. Once again, side by side for this race lead, as Jeff Pogo, I tell you what, he has held strong, as it seems like the rest of the guys that challenged that 93 car early starting to fade as this run continues to go. Now let's say if you do 2-stop it, I mean, how soon do you come down pit road? I mean, pitting at lap 50 is just about breaking this race up into thirds. Of course, pitting twice, 2 pit stops, race up into thirds, and then with that, it's like, man, will that be enough time? Because, I mean, we definitely have some fall off. Best time by our race leader, Jeff Pogo. He is able to do a 30.00. Last time by a 31.5. So it's about a second and a half fall off. So not a ton of fall off, but we see cars really starting to kind of fade on away. Those, of course, being the drivers that maybe didn't quite take care of their stuff, as Johnny Barker around John Crosby. So the 6th car up to P number 2. Let's ride on board here with Johnny Barker as he tries to mount a charge for the race lead here tonight at Las Vegas. And to put the emphasis on what the driver's really feeling, of course, we have the cameras turned on up just a little bit to the tire noise, give you a kind of feel whether driver's dealing with a tight condition or not. As you heard Johnny Barker have a decent amount of wheel running that top side. You got to wonder, about tire wear running the top. Jeff Pogo has been one of the drivers to run the top side the most here tonight in this one so far. But I tell you what, still keep the pace. He is still out in front. Johnny Barker, of course, 2nd. John Crosby, 3rd. James Hipsoff in 4th position. Anthony Calatoni rounding out the top 5. Jim Ott has made it up now to 6th. Scott Simley in 7th. Mike Kelly in 8th. And Josh Parker update inside the top 10. He is in 9th. And Rob Lowell rounding out this top 10 currently. Josh Parker now trying to work around Mike Kelly. Kelly still running this bottom side of the racetrack. And now we also see the 7 machine of Tyler Humphrey. We saw him take it easy at the start. And it seems like he is, of course, rocking and rolling back up towards the front of this one. First takers down on pit road. Chris Muse as well as Donald Sieb both down on pit road. So green flag pit stops have started here tonight at Vegas. Those guys pitted around in the 20th position, so we'll see who the first takers are inside the top 5. And right here it will be answered. Mike Kelly going to be the first to head to pit road. Nate Brooker, another one down on pit road. And oh man, Brooker, we can see some pretty good right side damage to that right front fender of that 00. So like I said, about lap 50, going to be able to split this race into thirds. We see some takers starting to pit on the earlier side here on 45. And like I said, looks like this time by no other takers down to pit road, as Jeff Pogo here trying to hang on to the race lead. Johnny Barker half a car in front. Can Barker complete the pass off of turn number 2? Yes, he can. Johnny Barker here to the race lead. The 97 machine of Pogo going to go to the outside here in 3 and 4. So I wouldn't be surprised to see the 97 machine heading to pit road next time by or so. But out in front, new race leader, the 6 car of Johnny Barker, will get a bonus point for a lap lead. Trouble here entering pit road. The 21 machine of Rob Lowell looks like coming in too hot. And it looks like just getting those back tires locked on up. Let's take a look, see what happened to that Sim Magic 21 machine into the banking. And oh, he just got the right rear up on the banking. And that sent that car sideways. And tough break for him, because he is going to have a penalty for probably unsafe entering. As, oh, we get our first caution of the evening. And it looks like it might be the 84 machine of Anthony Calatoni. So that will put an end to some green flag pit stops. Some drivers going to sigh a breath of relief because maybe they weren't prepared for green flag pit stops, but luckily it's going to be a busy pit road here under this caution. Once again, Cal Tony just having that back end step on out and then got into a little bit of a tank slapper there, slapped the right rear against the wall. That, of course, shot the car on around. So single car incident going to bring out this first caution as here we go. Johnny Barker going to lead the field down to pit road. So here we go. Drivers making their way into their pit stalls. Everyone doing a nice job keeping to the right of pit road, as we'll see who can come out on top. As tough break for those cars that came down pit road early, as Johnny Barker had to adjust in the pit stall. That will cost the 6 car a little bit of track position. We'll see how it shakes on out as left side starting to go up on a lot of cars. You can see some cars that pitted further in the back already rolling here on pit road. But it's going to be Jeff Pogo winning the race off of pit road. Johnny Barker in second, James Hips off third. Fourth off of pit road, Jim Ott and Scott Simley rounding out the top 5. So first caution here tonight, coming out for a single car incident as everyone making their way here to the end of pit road and keeping their cars rocking and rolling. So maybe good news for another car, that being the 00 of Nate Brooker. He can come down, get some more of that damage repaired on that race car. But here we go, going to be, I believe, 1 to go here at the start-finish line. So Jeff Pogo going to have the option to choose the inside or the outside on the restart. It looks like the 97 machine going to choose the inside lane. So we will double up the field and get ready to head back. Green flag racing. First 47 laps done and underway under the green flag condition. Of course, had our first caution here just before the halfway point, and we get ready to send them on back racing here tonight in this one. It's going to be Jeff Pogo, Johnny Barker on the front row of the first restart of the night. Also, interesting choice here. Jeff Pogo, of course, choosing the preferred lane here on the restart, that being this inside lane, but he has his teammate Jim Ott starting outside of row number 2, so as here we go, folks. First restart of the night going to be underway as the iRacing pace car will make the left-hand turn down to pit road. And Jeff Pogo now can fire off anytime inside the restart zone. He'll go pretty much right in the middle as the field now up through the gears as we head back to a full song here at Vegas. Once again, top 2 going to be single filed on out. That, of course, being the 2 cars on that inside lane. Johnny Barker now under fire from the 33 machine of Scott Simley. Simley, though, not going to have as much momentum from those cars up in that top lane as Jim Ott able to jump on the throttle early, get to the outside of Johnny Barker. So here comes now the 4 machine of Jim Ott up to a podium spot. Josh Parker now running the top side as well. Parker continuing his march up through the field. Move Josh Parker now inside of this top 5 as Johnny Barker bottom side of 3 wide. I believe some contact there off of turn number 2. But everyone able to keep their cars rocking and rolling nicely. Job everyone by what I saw there. I think what the field kind of bunched on up, cars wound on up. We got turning on up. What do we say? A little turn 3, turn it up here tonight at Las Vegas. Well, the old turn 3, turn it up curse will strike here in this one as we get our second caution of the evening. And it looked like the 4 machine of Jim Ott involved in this one. And you can see the damage to the nose of the 54 machine. Excuse me, the 4 machine. And Ott definitely going to be done for the night. You see the right front broken off of the race car. So let's take a look here, see what happened off of turn number 4. So already there, Ott big time sideways. As man, I would like to maybe just go back a little bit further and try and see what happened to Ott here in 3 and 4, because we can definitely see what happened there off of turn number 4, but let's see what led up into it. So Jim Ott here currently running in the 2nd position, Josh Parker behind him there in the 26. And man, I don't know if Ott was just chasing the race car the whole time or what happened there, but had Josh Parker right on his back bumper the whole time, even with the 4 car moving. And then yeah, just big time sideways. And it looks like, man, Dan George, the other car collected there in that one. He was the other car kind of later involved in that. And I think Ott's big time right front damage coming from a bit of net code, because it looked like a little bit of gap to the kind of car that hit him, but definitely destroyed that right front suspension of the 4 machine. So a tough break there for Jim Ott, as he was starting to put together, some pretty good runs, finally turning things on around in the luck department. Was able to jump up to 7th in the standings, but tonight's results definitely not going to help the 4 teams' efforts. Alrighty, here we go. Once again, getting the 1 to go signal here. So once again, Jeff Pogo in that 97 machine going to choose this inside lane. And now look at this, Josh Parker going to restart on the outside of the front row here for the 2nd restart of the evening. So it's going to be Pogo, Parker on the front row, then Crosby, Hislop, row number 2. Then it is Simley and Barker making up row number 3 on the 2nd restart of the evening. So it took about 50 laps to get our first caution. Now getting our second one right after the first. So we'll see if that changes here from this one. Alrighty, 2nd restart of the night, as Jeff Pogo once again going to go right in the middle of the box. A good restart by the number 97 machine, as he will get clear out in front. Josh Parker, John Crosby going to be side by side here in turns 1 and 2. Rest of the field going to be 2 by 2. Some maybe even 3 wide action, a little bit deeper in the field. One of those drivers trying to slice and dice, get some track position back. That being the 48 machine of Grant Humphrey. Same with the 22 of Mike Kelly. Kelly, of course, trying to get that track position back after getting trapped one lap down there with pit stop cycles. Oh, Jeff Pogo big time slowed down the front straightaway up top. Not sure what happened to the 97 machine, but that has opened up the door for the 73 of John Crosby. Right behind them there, Scott Simley, a power move from the bottom, able to slide in front of Josh Parker for P number 3. So Simley continue to run towards the front of this one. Simley, of course, very good at these 1.5 miles, and that 33 machine looking sporty here tonight as well. Crosby Pogo still dead even out in front for a lot of the field last time by. Fastest lap for them, so energy starting to pick up in the field, pace starting to pick up as well. Crosby and Pogo still side by side, the battle for our race lead here in this one. Right behind them, Chris Proger, he has driven his way up inside of this top 5, so the 11 machine marching here at the right time, and Proger now trying to take a peek to the outside of Josh Parker for 4th. So here tonight, so far 3 cars out of the race. Chris Muse, only driver out on track that I believe is 1 lap down. So if we do get a caution, Rear Machine will be back on the lead lap, and then that'll make everyone out in the race still on the lead lap. Like I said, only 1 car, 1 lap down. That is the 3 machine of Chris Muse out in front. Jeff Pogo, John Crosby still duking it out, still running their respective lanes. Jeff Pogo running that middle lane here in 1 and 2, top side in 1 and 2, excuse me, the middle there in 3 and 4, as Pogo able to get clear. So Crosby will fall in line for the time being. I think that's a good move because Simley and Parker still keeping these race leaders honest right in front of them. Oh, his top arrow, big time sideways there off of turn number 4. Not sure if he got some help by the 42 of Nick Barton, but the result of it, no matter what, the 69 machine going for a bit of a ride there off of turn number 4. He'll try and get that car back up to speed, but going to be outside of the pack back there in 27th. That's a tough break there because he was battling right on the cusp of the top 20. As here we go, new challenger for the race lead. Now it is the 33 machine of Scott Simley. Him and Pogo going to trade some paint heading into turn number 1. Simley trying to make that bottom side work here. It's a tough lane to do in 1 and 2, even though it's a much shorter distance. It is tough to make that car stick, have it go where you need to go. Where 3 and 4, it's a lot smoother, keep that momentum, but it's all about this run off of turn number 4. And now, of course, be with the top lane 9 times out of 10. And Pogo showing that off there by being able to take the lap lead as well. More contact heading in turn number 1 for this race lead. I mean, luckily with these cars, you know, no harm, no foul. You can make some contact, trade some paint in these, not have any sort of damage, but it's just tough to do at speeds like this. You got to be very precise with your contact, not make it too much, because it's easy to send one of your fellow competitors or yourself out of control. And if that happens heading into a corner, man, is that usually a big one. This time in 1 and 2, Simley able to kind of guess where Pogo was going. So Simley able to run the middle lane. Pogo running the top, got big time loose there. Was able to kind of use the wall a little bit, straighten that car out and get back in the throttle. But here we go, Simley going to try and get clear. Yes, he does. Pogo with the crossover at the start-finish line. Scott Simley, though, going to pick up the lap lead. So the 33 machine going to get a bonus point for a lap lead. And that is big time for that team because Simley currently sits second in points, trying to chase down Josh Parker in the point standings. Here we go now, Jeff Pogo in kind of unfamiliar territory. He is having to now battle on the inside lane with a car to his outside, not quite able to make it stick. Here comes now John Crosby here trying to take over P number 2. So Simley out in front. He will try and run away from this battle. Pogo, of course, keeping that momentum rocking and rolling nicely up in the top lane. Off of turn number 2 this time. No wiggle here, so he will have a lot of momentum now with the 73 machine down on the bottom. This could now open up the door for Josh Parker as well. Oh man, as Jeff Pogo, once again, he loses the car a little bit there, and he will smack the wall off of turn number 4. So Pogo going to lose 2 spots there, but more importantly, going to be able to hang on to that race car. But we can definitely see here in run number 2, Jeff Pogo definitely on the loose side of the spectrum. Oh, as one car there, big time moment. James Hisloff gets loose off the nose of Johnny Barker. That opens up the door. Now Brandon Guerin able to get on by. So the one car that started very deep here tonight in this one, he's inside the top 10, trying to get inside the top 5 as the one car is up to P number 6. So a good start to this one here as, man, now here comes Josh Parker trying to run down Scott Simley for this race lead. This time by for the 33 machine, though. He'll be the first to see it. Cross flags here, halfway down, halfway home here in the High Roller 210 at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. So with the field kind of strung on out for the time being after the halfway point, what do we say? We try it on again with a little turn 3. Turn it up here tonight at Las Vegas. So here we go, folks, up to the front, and there it is, the pass done and made. Josh Parker now able to get around Scott Simley for this race lead. So Parker now taking over the point here on lap 76, and we'll see what they have behind him here. Johnny Barker now within striking distance. Barker last of the 4 front runners, then Brandon Guerin now inside of this top 5. He kind of leads this secondary pack, so field once again starting to spread on out, stretch on out around this racetrack here tonight. Side-by-side battle for the second position here. John Crosby now to the inside of Scott Simley, so these two gonna go side by side down the front straightaway. Looks like Josh Parker gonna shade to the inside just a little bit. Johnny Barker also gonna run the inside lane as well. Crosby able to get clear from Scott Simley, so John Crosby up to P number 2. Here comes now Johnny Barker trying to get around the 33 machine. John Crosby's last podium coming at Texas, so kind of a similar feeling racetrack that we have here tonight. And that 73 machine back to P number 2, so if he were to finish exactly how they were running at the moment, 73 machine would tie his career best finish of a runner-up finish. Right behind them here inside of our top 10 though, Mike Kelly, Anthony Calatoni, Jeff Pogo, all getting ready for a battle here in this one. Mike Kelly to the inside of this 97 machine. Anthony Calatoni gonna follow Pogo into turns 1 and 2. Once again, Pogo still loose as right there at the apex. You saw the 97. Once again, that back end just starting to step out ever so slightly, but that's all it takes at, 100. Let's see, what are these guys doing in the corner? They're getting, the lowest speed is about 165. So, a little bit of a step out, a little bit of loss of traction is a big deal, especially at these speeds. So Anthony Calatoni there, pass done and completed on Jeff Pogo. Now here we go, Frank Zingen now will enter in the mix. Zingen, of course, up on the podium the last time we ran in the Winston Cup Series, that coming 2 weeks ago at Chicagoland. So the 62 machine looking to keep his hot streak alive as he will get around Jeff Pogo for that 9th position. Current battle on the speedway here, it's the duel of double numbers. The 99 machine of Alan Harris dueling it out with the 11 of Chris Progar. So Progar up top in the 11, Alan Harris on the bottom side, and he almost got the pass done there off of turn number 2. Gonna have to stay side by side, but man, Progar had a great run there, almost was able to get clear in 3, and looks like as long as he keeps his momentum here, should be able to do just that here off of turn number 4. So 99 gonna settle back in line, but Alan Harris up 13 spots from where he started and is currently running just outside of the top 10 in P number 13. So Brandon Guerin now continuing to march forward, now trying to work over the 33 machine of Scott Simley. So Simley gonna run that middle lane, the 1 car gonna try and put those lefts just above that white painted line and able to run a little bit shorter distance. Oh, James Hislop gonna bounce it off the wall as well. So that black 92 machine definitely trying to get whatever he can out of this race car, because don't forget folks, next pit window comes right before lap 100, about 90 to 100. Drivers can definitely make it to the end there. I mean, technically the pit window is open from here on out, so we could have some early takers, but as we saw with the first caution, that is kind of the bouncing game you have to play if you do decide to come in early, because if you do, caution comes out like we saw in our first caution, you get trapped a lap down, lose that track position, have to fight your way on back. And Mike Kelly, that is the story for this 22 machine. That's the exact situation that happened with him, and he is now just getting back inside the top 5, 30 laps later. So Brandon Guerin able to get the pass done and completed on Scott Simley. Now Mike Kelly going to try and do the same to get around his teammate. Going to do just that there off of turn number 1. So Brandon Guerin, I tell you what, he would be pumped up for a podium finish. And I think Hoonigan Racing as well, they have struggled here recently, and tonight no different, as Jim Mott caught up in an incident early. Jeff Pogo, though, he so far has the most laps led in this one, but here in this second run, that 97 machine has faded. He is trying to hang on to 10th with Steve Ritter. So Ritter down on the bottom side here. Jeff Pogo up top. Chris Muse right in front of them. Muse a lap car with some damage on the 3 machine. So Pogo able to just shoot the gap, just shoot in front of Steve Ritter. And they will try and go on by now. Johnny Barker up to Pete number 2. So Barker going to try and run down Parker. And we'll see what Johnny Barker has left in the tank late in this run. We'll head back to that battle for 10th here. Steve Ritter once again to the inside of Jeff Pogo. Those two going to go side by side down the back straightaway. Going to be dead even heading into turn number 3. Pogo going to try and pick up the throttle earlier. Keep that momentum. Ritter going to try the shorter distance. Keep that race car underneath him. And man, still dead even between the two of them. So this is some awesome racing, and this is going on for 10th, and we see racing like this going all around the speedway here tonight in this one. These drivers putting on a heck of a show. Ritter able to get clear there for a split second heading into turn number 1. So Ritter going to be able to, should be able to do just that off of turn number 2. Yes, he does. So Steve Ritter inside of the top 10 here, able to get around Jeff Pogo after quite a few laps. Right in front of them, man, a 5-gaggle racing pack has formed. That, of course, forming right on the back bumper of Brandon Guerin. Guerin trying to hold strong, but Mike Kelly able to get on around that 1 machine. Like I said, pit window definitely open on up to the end of this one. How early do you want to come on in? How far do you want to stretch it? Of course, right behind Simley, we have Hitzloff, Calatoni, Frank Zingen in the mix as well. So one mistake by any of these 5 cars, that's making even 6 of Mike Kelly as well. You know, one mistake, you can lose 6 spots or less in just 1 corner. So these drivers are going to have to be right on top of it here for the time being. But out in front, Josh Parker's lead has shrunk, and it has shrunk about half distance. Johnny Barker within half a second. Barker within the draft of our race leader. So we'll see what the 6 car has late in the run here in this one. We head back to this battle here. Now the 92 trying to get to the inside of Scott Simley. Going to do just that off of turn number 2. Can't quite do it into turn number 3. Simley going to run the middle. Now put the 92 hits off to the bottom. Calatoni in the 84 up top. Oh, Simley going to get a big piece of the wall. He will lose that track position like I was just saying before. And man, that was a big enough hit. I wouldn't be surprised if Simley doesn't have some sort of damage on that 33 machine. Also, Calatoni did fall that 33 in the wall just a little bit there, but definitely did not hit it as hard. So Calatoni going to be a question mark for damage, but I would have to guess that Simley definitely picked up something from there. As here we go, we're starting to hear some calls for pit road. As Eli Raposa here down on pit road, he is down and away. Jeff Pogo going to be one of the early takers to pit road, and I like that call from the 97 camp. Jeff Pogo down on pit road. So now, when does the rest of the field respawn? Like I said, about a 1.5 seconds fall off, but you know, you lose that every single lap to new tires. So let's say Jeff Pogo's 3 seconds back. Well, He just has to wait 2 laps for the leader to pit, and then, you know, he's out in front of them and then can dictate some air, try and make it a little bit more difficult to get on around, as now we see the white machine, the 61 of Steve Ritter. He is down on pit road as well, so drivers starting to trickle on in from right around the top 10 running spot, but no one yet to pit inside the top 5. Dylan Hinton also down on pit road. So far, no one with a penalty on pit road, so everyone so far has been able to hit pit road safely. Two buddies getting ready to go to battle here. Brandon Guerin, Frank Zingen here, trying to get things rocking and rolling right before a pit stop here, as a 62 trying to run down the one, as you saw Anthony Calatoni, James Hisloff both around Brandon Guerin. So now move the one car outside of the top 5 for the time being, but we start to close on into the end of this one. It's almost about to be under 40 laps left here tonight. Looks like another car here down on pit road, the 42 machine of Nick Barton down and away from pit road, so he will bring it down. Looks like another car bringing it on, and that is now the 5 car of Brandon Hinton. He will head to pit road safely, so cars continue to trickle on in here tonight in this one, as I believe I hear the 21 machine, I believe his spotter telling him come to pit road this time by, so we'll keep the camera on him, see if he does in fact head to pit road. It looks like it was not the case. A little bit of fake out there, because he will stay on the racing surface, and that time by no takers on that pit road. When it cycled on out here, it looks like Steve Ritter will in fact cycle out in front of Jeff Pogo, so it may be a race here depending on where everyone else cycles on out between Ritter and Pogo late in this one. More takers here. Mike Kelly, a little bit of smoke, a little bit of lockup, but I believe safe on pit road speed. We'll find out the final verdict here. Also, James Hisloff down, Jason Ayerson down as well. So front 2 going to stay on out, elect another lap here tonight in this one. Looks like most of the top 10 keeping it on the racing surface. As it looks like now the 99 of Alan Harris going to peel off, and he will head to pit road. So here on lap 102, Alan Harris down. Rabia Caton also down for service in that good wrench number 30. And here we go. We hear the call from P number 2 and our race leader, Johnny Barker and Josh Parker, both down on pit road. So we'll keep an eye, see how they roll to their pit stalls here. Parker safely in. Barker having to travel a little bit more distance, but out on the racing surface. John Crosby going to pick up a bonus point for a lap led. So I would have to believe now the 73 machine heading to pit road here this time by, and it does look like the case. He is down there low to the apron. He will bring it on down here on lap 103. So John Crosby here to the commitment line. Looks like nice and easy. Well done by him. Now cycles on out now to the 84 of Calatoni. Like I said, the race we have to watch, Johnny Barker, Josh Parker versus Steve Ritter. Josh Parker here off of turn number 4. He will get into the blend line. That is Steve Ritter right behind him in that white 61. So Parker about 10 car lengths in front of him. Looks like Josh Parker may have done everything right on pit road and should be able to stay out front in the race lead. Anthony Cow, Tony Scott Simley here down on pit road here this time, so they will pull into their stall, full service on those race cars. So now here comes the 62 machine, of Frank Zingen. Zingen gonna stay out on the racing surface. Same with the one car, Brandon Guerin, who will trade a little paint with Grant Humphrey. Those two trading a little paint there off of turn number 4, but these guys running this race a little bit longer than the rest of the field, hoping for a lucky break, a lucky caution flag, and have it work out in their favor. Also, cars that have yet to come down pit road: Tyler Humphrey in the 7 machine, the 20 of Michael Wolf, the 23 machine of Joe Hudson, Evan Fuquay, as well as Todd Perot. So the 62 going to stay out yet another lap here in this one. Michael Wolf did, in fact, last time by, peeled to pit road. So that leaves about 7 cars yet to come on down. And then when it cycles on out, it looks like Josh Parker, the car furthest out in front. Then Mike Kelly able to jump up to P number 2 with his pit strategy. Johnny Barker in that 3rd running spot here for the time being. Tyler Humphrey down on pit road, same with the 76 machine. Both of them on pit road nicely and safely. Now only 5 cars yet to pit. That, of course, being our current top 5 here in this one. So how much time do they want to give up? How late is too late to try and head to pit road? Those are all the questions I am wondering up here in the booth, but these drivers, of course, hopefully have it planned out a little bit better. Yeah, a little bit of cloud coverage here tonight, so track getting some shade. That will cool it on down a little bit, help out some different lanes. So interesting here late in this one, a little bit of cloud cover coming in to affect this racetrack and how it feels. About 15 laps away. Excuse me, actually I believe about 5 laps away or so to our countdown clock, so we'll check that out here in a short time. That means the end of this one quickly approaching upon us, as here we go, the 48 machine of Grant Humphrey. He is down in his pit stall getting some service done on the 48 machine. Now that leaves just 4 cars left yet to head to pit road. Josh Parker able to get on the lead lap now, same with the 6 car of Johnny Barker. Barker, though, has his work cut out for him. If this race goes green to the end, Barker has to somehow erase a 2.5 second deficit to the 26 machine. That will be the battle for the race lead. Right behind them, Mike Kelly trying to hang on to a podium spot, as next car behind him on fresher tires, let's say, that would be John Crosby here just heading into turn number 1, as it looks like Mike Kelly here just trying to get off of turn number 2 by the time I'm done saying this. So under a quarter track, but a little bit of time. If we put in a time perspective, let's say about 2 seconds back. So Crosby has to make up about 2 seconds here late in this race. Frank Zingen still not heading down to pit road, so the 62 gonna stay on out on the racing surface for the time being, as he'll now let Steve Ritter get on by. So that'll move now 8 cars up to the lead lap, and now make it 9, as here comes John Crosby as well. So I tell you what a great night of racing it has been here tonight in this one. Only 2 cautions. Oh man, Frank Zingen hard into the outside wall there off of turn number 2. Not sure if the aero affected the 62 there with the, maybe the 83 came up just a little bit too much, started diverting a little bit of air off the nose of the 62 to then the nose of the 84, but whatever happened there, man, Frank Zingen hit that wall a ton off of turn number 4, but we'll continue to stay out on the racetrack here. But That was a pretty good hit for our current race leader. Anthony Calatoni here, battle for position, now trying to get around the 61 machine of Steve Ritter. Remember, Ritter and Pogo, the first cars to pit road, so they're going to have the least fresh tires under their race cars for the time being. As I say, let's ride on board here with Frank Zing and let's see what he is doing. We'll ride on with the old roof cam, try and see if he's saving some fuel or anything like that, or let's ride on board, see what the driver of the 62 is doing late in this one. Yeah, and it doesn't sound to me like he's using any sort of clutch or anything like that. Did get a little bit tight though off of turn number 4 there. You heard him having to pedal that race car just a little bit, as it looks like another taker here to pit road. That is 69 of Top Neuro. He will dive on down, and now it will make it 24. This time by will be now 23 laps left in this one. So now only 3 cars have not visited pit road, and now maybe make it to, as Frank Zingen from our race lead will make his pit road appearance here with 24 laps left tonight in this one. Joe Hudson and Brandon Garrett both going to stay out on the racing surface, so Joe Hudson actually will get a lap led here tonight at Las Vegas. So they will be the final 2 cars to head to pit road. I'm hearing the call here, Brandon Guerin coming to pit road here this time by, so he will roll on up as smoke a little bit there off of turn number 4. Everyone will keep it rocking and rolling for the time being. I believe that may have maybe Jeff Pogo. Let's try and see who was maybe a little bit out of control there. As the 97 machine of Jeff Pogo will keep an eye on this car. And yeah, Pogo from the fence there got big time loose, and heck of a save to keep that race car facing the right direction, but not have it kind of tank slap right in the path of a few other cars. As here we go, Joe Hudson here down on pit road, and with a 23 machine to pit road, that means we have completed a green flag pit cycle here tonight at Las Vegas. It is done and over with, and now Josh Parker takes back over the point. And man, what story it would be to continue the run that Josh Parker is on. Won last week, of course, didn't we? 2 weeks ago at Daytona was in contention for that, but where it really becomes mind-boggling in these first 7, or tonight, if he does pick up the win and now make it his first 8 starts here for this season, he would have 6 wins, and that would put him at a 75% win percentage at the season. Absolutely mind-boggling if Josh Parker can hang on for these last 20 laps. Still no easy feat, as we saw a few laps ago there. Jeff Pogo get big time out of sorts. Here's a battle for position though. This is 4P number 12 as Chris Proger trying to hold off the 99. Once again, a battle between these two. And once again, it is Harris in the 99 machine on the attack. We'll see what he can have up his sleeve here late in this one. So Brandon Guerin with the election of a late pit stop. That put him all the way back in about 23rd position. And I believe the last car on the lead lap. So he will have his work cut out for him late in this race. As here we go, these two once again side by side, and right behind them they have the 48 machine of Grant Humphrey, so it could quickly become a 3-car battle for 12th, 13th, and 14th here. Chris Proger going to have the momentum up top. Grant Humphrey will follow suit, and now Humphrey to the outside of Alan Harris. Those two now going to be side by side. Chris Proger can maybe take a deep breath for a second. He will have no car racing him hard, but that will change here in a moment as Grant Humphrey, big run down the front straightaway. He will drive it to this inside lane. Chris Proger will run the top side here, keep the momentum, try and keep that car underneath him. They will make big time contact off the corner. They will continue to make contact. Grant Humphrey down on the apron. He will somehow save that race car, but they both lose a spot then to Alan Harris as he will drive on through and say, thank you very much, boys. Wow, that got pretty intense there for a second. An update for this race lead. The gap between Johnny Barker and Josh Parker, you can see there, 2.6 seconds. So it has stayed the same in the first half of this run. We'll see what Johnny Barker has left in the tank, but if he has anything left, he has to take off about 2/10 each lap to run down our race leader with about 15 to go, and that's going to be a tall order to do. Down the front straightaway here, Frank Zingen able to get around Jeff Pogo. We saw Pogo, his race car continuing just to get looser and looser as the night went on, and we see him continue to struggle with the handling of that race car as he will lose now. That was 16th to Frank Zingen. Zingen, of course, one of those drivers late to pit road, so he has the freshest tires out on the racing surface inside of the top 20, and he is trying to pick up as many spots as he can here before this checker flag falls. These two once again side by side off of turn number 2. This time no contact between the two of them as Chris Proger able to hang on to that spot. So now you got to wonder, for a driver like Grant Humphrey, how much more patience do you have? As you felt like you could probably get around both of these cars in front of you, and once again laps continue to click on by. That was a, oh man, big time moment there as Chris Proger bounces it off the walls, breaks traction, and wow, what a save by Chris there, as that car was big time sideways. Man, heck of a save by the 11 car there. Going to lose a few spots, so fall outside of the top 15 to 16th, but still has time late in this race to maybe run down a few other cars. But passing definitely going to be a premium here late in this one, as now we see Steve Ritter, Anthony Calatoni here trying to duke it out for a top 5 finish here late in this one. So Ritter able to get to the left rear quarter panel of Calatoni, try and pull that 84 car back just a little bit. Now Ritter going to have the shorter distance, can try and put those left sides right on that painted white line. That white line, of course, on the racetrack, so not on the apron, so you can hit that white line if you need it to get that car rotated. But it seems like definitely everyone having enough rotation here, as we've seen a lot of cars here tonight sideways, but this time by for our race leaders. 2 open palms from the flagman. It is now 10 laps to go here at Vegas. So this battle, of course, shaping on up now. Alan Harris, Grant Humphrey once again side by side for position. We'll see if Steve Ritter can use Chris Muse as a pick a little bit for Anthony Calatoni, though. Muse will jump out big time, though. Calatoni will get loose with that weight just a little bit, so Steve Ritter able to get inside the top 5. Calatoni will try and run back down the 61, and like I was saying, Alan Harris now trying to hang on to the spot from Frank Zingen. Zingen, of course, on those fresh tires, able to get on, trying, or I should say get on by, but not quite able to complete the pass there down the front straightaway. As I was saying as well, Grant Humphrey was able to get side by side with Alan Harris as well. They'll do just that once again down the back straightaway. So battle inside our top 5 as well for a podium spot. John Crosby has run down Mike Kelly. Remember, that was about a 2-second gap. Once pit stop cycled on out, that Crosby needed to run on down. He did just that. And into turn number 3 here, John Crosby makes it look easy as he will try and finish yet again up on a podium. So that time by at the stripe, it is now 7 laps to go, and Grant Humphrey was able to get around Alan Harris. Now here comes Michael Wolf in the 20 machine as well. So Wolf going to try and follow Frank Zingen on through a few more spots if he can have it, because then Frank going to have quite a bit of a gap to Brandon Hinton. And of course here in this 5 machine, about 3.5 seconds in front of the 62. So definitely not going to be enough time for him to run on down. Also here inside of the top 10, Rob Lowell starting to feel some pressure by the 7 machine of Tyler Humphrey late in this one. Brandon Guerin, like I said, last car on the lead lap. When the pit cycle all finished on up, well, he's able to drive back inside the top 20. He has put the 1 car back into P number 20, but definitely not the finish that they are going to be happy with what kind of speed they showed here in this one. This time by now, it is only 1 hand out of the flag stand. It is now 5 laps to go here at Las Vegas, as final kind of positions, final kind of puzzle pieces starting to fall into place. We'll see how this thing wraps on up. The kind of last real big spot up for grabs is this battle for 9th between Rob Lowell and Tyler Humphrey, though. Humphrey right in the wake of that 21 machine, hasn't been able to get side by side with him. He's going to have about 4 more solid attempts to make something happen. He's going to have to try and get something done, and get it done sooner rather than later. These two still running there, though Tyler Humphrey will have a better 3 and 4. Will carry some momentum down the front straightaway. He'll look to the outside of Rob Lowell. Those two gonna go side by side here through turns 1 and 2. The 21 can cut him on off again, but man, both cars will actually exit on the bottom side. So Tyler Humphrey just trying to find a way around this 21 machine. Definitely looks like he wants to go to the top side if he can. The 21 gonna try and protect that, as here we go. This time by popsicle sticks up in the air. It is 2 to go as Tyler Humphrey makes the move. This time gonna shade down low. The 7 says, I'm gonna go shade high. When it comes to pounds, we're gonna cut it low. Can Humphrey complete the pass here off of turn number 2? Oh, not quite. These two gonna go side by side here down the back straightaway and into turn number 3. We'll come back here, see how this battle for this position concludes here, because off of turn number 4, now make it off of turn number 2. Man, it has been a season to remember so far for this camp. Through 3 and 4 for the final time, and Josh Parker, of 8 races so far, he is now going to win 6 of them. Josh Parker picks up win number 6 on the season, as well as career win number 6. Man, Parker is on it. Johnny Barker will bring it home in the runner-up spot. John Crosby in 3rd, and Rob Lowell going to hold off Tyler Humphrey late in that one, as here at the start-finish line, it's going to be a photo finish, as it looks like Joe Hudson, Jeff Pogo, and it will be Jeff Pogo by inches over Joe Hudson there for position. But yeah, like we've been saying, folks, man, he has been on another planet. A man of few words, very, very well spoken, and, you know, won't boast about it, but he is putting on a season as Josh Parker gets it done again here tonight at Vegas, and we'll pick up yet another checkered flag on the season. Parker gonna burn it on down here on the front stretch of Vegas. Alrighty, folks, that would do it for the celebrations on the front stretch. Don't go anywhere because we got the Riptide Radio post-race show coming up after a quick commercial break, and we'll be chatting with our top 3 finishers. So we'll be right back here to Las Vegas after a quick break. Don't go anywhere, folks.
iRacing is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all around the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics, engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 170,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsports organizations like NASCAR to deliver virtual races based on the real-life NASCAR Cup Series, as well as many other series on the NASCAR ladder. iRacing also features team racing, providing a variety of options for members to create and manage their own teams. Race with friends or real-world teammates in full-length endurance events like the 24 Hours of Daytona, Spa 24, or the Bathurst 12 Hour. Additional partners include IMSA, World of Outlaws, Supercars, and IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own Indianapolis 500, Bathurst 1000, Chili Bowl, and many more iconic events. This is iRacing, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car. Sign up today at iRacing.com.
Alrighty, folks, we are back here at Las Vegas chatting with our top 3 finishers. So the first driver we have up on deck ready to rock and roll, it will be the 73 machine of John Crosby back up here on the podium. John, do you got a copy? It's Brett the Jet in the booth here.
Yeah, how you doing?
Man, we're doing pretty good. How are you feeling, my man, after 140 laps? Walk away with yet another podium. This now makes it your 3rd top 5 on the season.
Yeah, feels pretty good. Just disappointed in a few mistakes that are just silly rookie mistakes that I really shouldn't be doing. But other than that, I'm happy with it. That top 3 here is pretty dang good.
Yeah, that it is, especially with the caliber of racers we had here tonight. And yeah, what was maybe if you had to redo it on over, what would you maybe change about tonight, John?
I'd first practice a little bit more, especially my getting into my pit box. What really screwed me up is twice I just slid right through the pit box. We had that caution and slid right through it, had to back up and lost 5 spots there. And then, that green flag pit stop, I pit and slid through it again. So just more practice, but it's hard. I have a 8-month-old today actually. And, trying to figure, putting her down for bed and then getting on here and just trying to practice. It's pretty much impossible. So I try my best, but almost impossible to do it.
Yeah, it definitely sounds like you got a lot of things to juggle there, John. And here tonight, juggle a whole strategy as well. I mean, man, when do you decide to come to pit road? Because we saw the first one, right? Caution in the middle of green flag pit stop. So no one wants to be the first, but if you come down early, hey, you could maybe drum some track position as well.
Yeah, it's just, I was probably a second behind him. So I thought if I had a good pit stop in pit a lap before him, I could probably get within a half second of him and be in the draft and be just fine. So that was my goal, but they ran it out a little longer than I thought. So I just went a lap later than they did and kind of just bit me in the end. But yeah, it is what it is. I was praying for another caution so we didn't have to do that.
Yeah, these pit road definitely very sketchy, especially with that bank and transition. Luckily, everyone their second pit stops, no cautions, no incidents as well. And at the conclusion of the green flag pit stops, I mentioned on the broadcast the car you seem to have to run down, of course, being that 22 machine of Mike Kelly, had about 2 second gap once everything got rolling. What was the mindset there, and how'd you say, you know what, we can do this, we can knock that gap down and be there in the end like you were?
Yeah, it was just really finding the rhythm, especially when tires are worn. You have about 10 laps of just fresh tires. So after about 10, just finding that rhythm and getting to them, and then the hard part's passing because the dirty air is just awful. But we managed to do it, so pretty happy.
Yeah, that it is. Of course, your best finish coming as second at Texas. And man, these mile and a halves, it seems like you got something going on, of course, here tonight, showing that off as well.
Yeah, I appreciate it, and it's just the tiny mistakes that I should be doing. Will just get me every time. So, and I'm probably gonna keep doing them, but everyone does. So, no big deal. But happy with the P3.
Yeah, definitely an awesome run for you here tonight, John. Once again, congrats on it. Thanks again for being part of the show. You definitely put on a great show there. But before we let you go and celebrate yet another podium for you, we're going to, of course, hand over the mic to you and have you thank who you got to thank, whether sponsors, teammates, or anyone else you want to give a shout out to on the broadcast here tonight.
Yeah, definitely Hit Motorsports, Brandon, Dylan, Todd, all those guys are just great. They're fun to run with. So, and I appreciate them inviting me in here and just having fun with them. So, and then W, use code JC73 for 10% off. Go to the W website and use that, get 10% off, and get yourself some W. It's clean energy. It's awesome drink. Tastes really good. So get you some of that, and yeah, that's pretty much it. And you. Thank you very much.
All righty, we appreciate it. But thank you, John, for being part of the race in action. Now I get to, call and, all of us get to enjoy. So you, my man, once again, congrats on another great run here tonight. And I'm sure we'll be talking to you again here in the future.
Awesome. Thank you, Brett.
All righty, great stuff there. That was our P number 3 finisher of the 73 machine of John Crosby. Now we'll head up to our runner-up finisher, that being the 6 car of Johnny Barker. Johnny, do you got a copy? It's Brett the Jet in the booth here.
I got you, Brett.
All righty, man. First and foremost, how you feeling after 140 laps here tonight at Las Vegas?
Man, I wore out. Wore out and happy. It's just like a win to me tonight. Lord, the season I've done had. Lord.
Exactly. I know the big kind of talking points is, the crazy season that Mike Kelly, Jeff Pogo, Jim Ott, a few of those. We could also lump your season into it too, right, Johnny? It's been, man, heartbreak after heartbreak, it seems.
Yes, it has. And I was just talking to Josh and telling him the same thing. As I was like, a lot of it wasn't my fault. Some of it was my fault racing when I really probably shouldn't be racing. So I come in tonight, knew exactly my game plan. I didn't care where I finished. I was finishing, and I was just rolling that bottom and saving tires and letting them go at the beginning of the run and getting them back at the end.
Yeah, exactly. I think the big talking point we got to talk to United about, Johnny, is that end of that kind of second stint. Man, that 6 car had a lot of speed. You're able to get in, I think, within, 4 car lengths of Josh Parker. How was that car feeling at the end? I think, like you said, just taking care of that tire paid off a lot, right?
Yeah. There at the end, like I said, I think I was a little faster than Josh at the end of that one stint there, and he even said it. So he said he was waiting on me to pit the last pit, and I was like, no, I wasn't pitting until you pitted, but he was just so good of getting in and out the pit. You know, he gained that on me, and pretty much once I come out and I knew I wasn't gonna catch him, I was content just to ride and save my tires to finish second.
Yeah, and I mean, like you said earlier in the show, a second for you and this team definitely feels like a win with this season. I mean, what kind of momentum does this now carry? You know, Nashville Super Speedway next week, as well as, you know, a lot of good tracks coming up on the schedule.
Yeah, I just got to keep with this same plan of letting them go early. A lot of people do that, and I'm guilty of it too. They, you know, just run it so hard at the beginning of the run and end up burning their tires up, especially the way these tracks been so hot. You got to take care of your tires, and it pays off at the end.
Yeah, it definitely did for the sixth team out here tonight, able to walk away with a runner-up finish. And what do you think, Johnny, you needed there in that final stint to maybe run down Josh Parker? Because we saw throughout the night, it seemed like the top side especially started to get looser and looser as the night and the race kind of went on.
Yeah, really just executing the pit stop better. I mean, like I said, the season I had, I wasn't going to get a speeding penalty or a wreck coming to pit road, so I was real conservative on entry and exit of pit road. And when I was coming out the pit and I seen he had done blew by, I knew it was, like I said, I knew I wasn't going to have enough. I was a little faster, I felt like, all night at the end of the run, but not enough to make up what he gained on the, you know, pit road. So
Yeah, definitely would have been tough to do there. And yeah, I'm sure with, you know, your finish here tonight, you're probably very much happy. No caution flag there, because I'm sure that came into a big factor, right, of deciding when to come to pit road after seeing that caution come out in the middle of green flag pit stops the first time around.
yeah, and that was my other plan. Throughout the night, my car felt so good at that first run. Whenever I come up there and got the lead, I wasn't gonna pit until it was out of fuel. Uh, it just felt that good at the end of the run there. I could pretty much from center out, you know, go to the floor pretty quick, and car still felt good. wasn't getting trying to get out from under me. So my plan was on run it till it was empty. Caution come out, and well, rest was over from there.
Yeah, and I mean, still a great run for you, Johnny, here tonight in this one. And like you said, quite a bit of battles here, but it seemed like it was tough to pass, especially later in a run. It seemed like it took multiple laps. And what'd you find was kind of the trick, let's say, to get a pass done? It seemed like a lot of passes done on the bottom side of 1 and 2, right?
Yeah, definitely. Like me and Josh was talking about that too. People were saying how hard it was to pass, and it was to a certain extent. But if you let them go, and you know they're gonna get their tires greasy hot, and it would take a lap or two for you to actually make the whole pass. But you roll that bottom, and I mean you could drive it in there and roll the bottom, and just pretty much, you know, every lap get a little bit, and it wasn't too bad to pass. Just rolling that bottom.
Yeah, it definitely seemed like it was moving as long as you were nice and smooth over those bumps. And Johnny, here tonight, you were. So, first time, I can't believe it, first time talking to you know this season. Well, I guess that kind of goes to show what kind of tough luck you're having this season. But Johnny, I always like to check in with drivers and kind of get an update on their sim setup. So, what do you have these days, my man, for wheels, pedals? What are you looking at? That kind of good stuff.
Well, actually, at the end of last year, and heck, I don't even know if I talked to you since, but the end of last year, I had bought Rob's Sim Magic wheelbase and wheel and all, and
Ah.
that's made like I said, I've had ever since I've had it, still getting used to it, but man, it's like night and day. I love that thing. So definitely a shout out to Rob for hooking me up with that, because it has made a big difference. And I'm still getting a little used to it, but I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, I tell you what, it made that car look very fast here tonight. Able to walk away with a runner-up finish. So Johnny, we'll let you get rocking and roll and celebrate AP number 2. But before we do that, we of course got to hand over the mic to you and have you thank who you got to thank, whether sponsors, teammates, or anyone else you'd like to give a shout out on the broadcast.
Yeah, definitely want to give a big shout out to the whole 802 league, Rob, and all of them that has a part in it. This league, from what it went to what it's become now, is just it's amazing, really. Can't believe, like I said, Thursday I went home. Didn't even qualify. So definitely want to give a shout out to the whole 802 team, my teammates, the Wolfpack, practicing this week. Shout out to them for helping me. And like always, you for broadcasting. Look forward to going back and watching it.
All righty, well, awesome stuff, Johnny. Well, once again, man, congrats on the runner-up finish. You, my man, go celebrate this, enjoy this, and once again, thanks again for being part of the action here and keeping up the Iron Man streak alive. As you, I don't know if you know, but I believe you have the most ever starts here with the 802 Winston Cup Series, so that's always awesome to see. And starts-wise, it looks like you're up to here tonight 114 starts, if you can believe it.
Yeah, I can't believe it. That's a lot.
Yeah, it's awesome to see and shows your dedication here to the league. So once again, Johnny, we appreciate your support and thanks again for being part of the show. And once again, congrats on the runner-up finish. I'm sure we'll be talking to you again here in the future.
Sure hope so. Have a good night, Brett.
All righty, thanks again. You take care, Johnny.
All right.
Alrighty, awesome stuff. That was our runner-up finisher, the sixth machine of Johnny Barker. Now we'll head down to our race winner and talk to the man of the hour. It is the 26th machine of Josh Parker. Josh, do you got a copy? It's Brett the Jet in the booth here.
What's up, Brett?
Alrighty, man. I know you're a modest man. You're not a big bragging type, but man, what a start of a season it has been. Now 6 wins already on the season.
I was telling Johnny this could have gone many different ways. All these 6 wins, so it's mostly luck, but a good run of tracks I like as well. So, like I said, it's small things, and Johnny was quicker than me. So, like I said, anything I needed to get around him on that, or not stay in front of him during the green flag pit stop. So that I think it made the biggest difference.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think that's kind of the biggest point in the race. Besides the caution coming out in the middle of the first green flag pit stops, luckily you stayed on out, so we didn't have to sweat too much there. But yeah, that run then was produced after that. What more did you need from that car? Because you definitely found something then in that final stage, because that gap stayed the same all the way to the checkered.
I think I just needed to be in a position to not have aero push or burn the tires up. Jeff was battling when he was in the lead, battling Scott. Even though I was trying to save my tires behind them, they're going left, right, up, down, and the wake. It was just we're all burning our stuff up. Even we're trying to keep pace with them too. So that kind of didn't help. But at the end, just having to clean air, and I think lap traffic played a bigger deal in that as well, keeping the time or the distance equal. Right, we were both catching the same amount of lap traffic. So
yeah, definitely the key there, and you did a great job managing this race here late in this one as it went green to the end there. And like you said, what was the game plan with the green flag pit stops? We heard maybe a little bit of conversation of, hey, you're just going to wait till Johnny pitted and pit at the same time.
Well, like I said, any given time I can have bad luck, and it almost happened that first green flag picks up. I was thinking about pitting maybe in the next few laps, and then I saw Anthony wreck. I'm like, all right, cool. That kind of saved me there. But yeah, so the last one I was telling Johnny as well. I personally like to wait between 35 to 40 laps to go to pit if we were going through green flag pit stops, and I looked down, it was 38, and I was like, well, shit. He hasn't pitted yet, and I was waiting for him. I wanted him to pit first because he was quicker in the long run. I felt like if I just had 1 lap or 2 lap fresher tires in him to end it, that would equal that part out. But once I saw 38 to go, I said, well, let's just see if I can be better on green flag pit stops and see what happens. And he ended up following me in, and the rest is history.
Yeah, that it was able to hit your marks amazingly on the green flag pit stops. I mean, Din and speed was quick on and off, and we didn't really talk about it too much on the broadcast, but concrete pit box is also an X factor, right, when it comes to pit road.
Yeah, I've been pinning at this racetrack for like since 2007, and 2008. So but I feel like no matter what car you run on this track, the transition, the way the track is, like if you hit it right, like it's almost impossible to wreck. Like you know what you have your brake set up at, and so um, I just think I was so comfortable. I knew if I can get to a green flag pit stop, I'll have a good chance of beating everyone on pit road. But I really no, I didn't. I get what you're saying with the concrete. I mean, I personally have, and when I'm exiting pit road, almost have trouble with that. But
Yep.
no, not too much of a transition, especially with this car. You kind of have to have the wheel straight, and you can't lock it up, or else you're gonna slide all the way through, no matter what track you're at.
Gotcha. Yeah, we appreciate the insights there, Josh. And I always like to pick your brain. Another thing, maybe on that luck side that you like to bring up, and I want to get your opinion on this. The Jim Ott incident, right on your
Oh
nose,
Jesus,
able
yeah.
to just get by. That was a close call there. What'd you think, and what'd you see out of your windshield that maybe led to it, or what happened there?
Jim Ott would be all pro at fly swatting after that last lap. I was watching him for so I was telling Scott and Mike, 'cause I was running with them, and I pancaked the wall, trying to kind of get. I saw him get loose, and I was like, "Oh God, this is like a terrible spot." So I kind of went an inch higher, and I got super tight from the wake of the back of his car, and I slammed the wall. So not only did I get lucky for missing him, I got lucky I didn't break a toe link with the safer barrier. But that was again, there you go, perfect. That was luck.
Yeah, that was a big time moment there that you're able to squeak on through, and then a restart later, and you're already on the front row there. So once again, Josh, man, it's always awesome to see you slice and dice your way through the field here, and once again able to do that here tonight. But though next week we head to Nashville Super Speedway, how do you feel about racing on some concrete?
Uh, I like that track too. I'm afraid to say that because then everyone's gonna, you know,
Yep.
um, but that's like a short, almost like a short track, but not a short track. It's usually a pretty good track for me as well. Uh, we'll see.
Yeah, we definitely will. And yeah, I like that comparison of a short track because it's heavy braking, sharp corners, and then big old long straightaways that you get some big runs at. And it's definitely really kind of backwards to drive with the next gen car because you have to back up the entry so much for that place, right? You're like, no way can this be fast. And then you get some massive runs off the corner.
When I first got that track, when they first scanned that track, I
Yep.
ran a league race, and I thought it'd be a good idea to run it without practice.
Uh-oh.
And I could not. I think I almost got lapped in like 15 laps. Like I couldn't. One lap I was trying to race it like Kansas. The next one I'm like backing up the turn. I could not figure it out.
Yeah,
But
that place is definitely a tricky one, if especially like you said with zero practice time. Whew, that's
yeah,
a tough.
that was not a good call. That was terrible.
But yeah, we're definitely excited to see what kind of pace you could have for that place. And kind of another side portion to the news, not talked about too much besides, with the fellow racers, but a little bit of a friendly bounty put on you. $5 iRacing credits. How's it feel to I can't remember the last time if this league's ever put a bounty on someone.
I saw that. I thought that was fun. It was also funny. Um, Rob does multiple things over here. That's fun. And again, I promote him all the time. I tell a lot of people I've been sim racing with a long time that this is one of the fun leagues. He puts a lot of effort into this, and it's just another random thing that people. I mean, I ex- I think people are racing me too nice, to be honest with you, with that thing popping up.
Well, there we go. Challenges put on. Don't do anything crazy, right? But
I
I
hate
like
being let go. My biggest pet peeve is when people key up and say go low, And as much as I appreciate it, but it's almost kind of like, let's go, come up, because a lot of these people can keep pace.
Oh yeah.
I think Rob let me go earlier, and I told him, I was like, dude, you. And then what happened? He ran behind me for like 7 or 8 laps on my butt. So I'm like, dude, don't let me go.
Yeah, I like it. So I guess challenge for the field next week at Nashville. No one can't let
Well,
this
I shouldn't have.
26
Right,
go
I
by.
shouldn't have said that.
Well, awesome stuff, Josh. I tell you what, it's always great chatting with you, my man. And yeah, what a start it has been for you. Another good track for you next week, so that's going to be awesome to see. So, man, once again, I got to tip my hat to you. What a start it has been. And keep it on up, man, because it is awesome to see you chasing after these records and whatnot. So, Josh, before we let you go and wrap up another great Sunday night, we, of course, got to hand over the mic to you and have you thank who you got to thank, whether sponsors, teammates, or anyone you like to shout out here down in Victory Lane here with the 802 Winston Cup Series.
You doing the broadcast each week. It's a great quality broadcast. It's fun to watch. Rob, everything he does with the league, and Brandon. I know Scott, Steve Ritter. I mean, there's a couple other admins I don't know yet, but I'll eventually learn them. Mike Kelly, Scott, racing with them on Sundays is fun, and everyone on Sunday. This was a good race. I think one yellow. I think so.
Yeah,
this was a
2
good race.
yellows and super long green flag pit stops. I mean, that's tough to do just period in the next gen car. These guys put it on. It's awesome racing, like you're saying, Josh.
Yeah, it allows you to move around the track and just creates for good racing all in all. So.
Yeah, that it is. And capped on off with you putting on another great show, walking away with yet another checkered flag. So, Josh, keep it on up, man. Don't let off the throttle pedal. And I'm excited to see if anyone can dethrone you at Nashville, get a little money as well. So, Josh, appreciate you chatting with us, being a good sport. Always great, man. And yeah, we'll catch you next Sunday night.
I appreciate it, Brett.
Alrighty, awesome stuff. And man, it's always great to talk to Josh Parker there. Always a great dude. And yeah, I appreciate him taking his time, being part of the show, chatting with us, and of course, picking up yet another checkered flag. So let's wrap things on up and get out here at a decent time. But yeah, let's go chat and run through tonight's race results here tonight at Las Vegas. So Josh Parker picks up his 6th win of the season, now going 6 for 8. He has a $5 friendly bounty on him. Johnny Barker will bring it home in the runner-up spot, and John Crosby, his third podium, or I should say third top 5 on the season, coming tonight at Vegas. Mike Kelly will put together a solid night here tonight. That is what he needed to bring it home in 4th. Steve Ritter rounds out the top 5. James Hitzloff in 6th. Anthony Calatoni will finish in 7th. Scott Simley 8th. Rob Lowell in 9th. And Tyler Humphrey rounding out the top 10. Brandon Hinton 11th. 12th going to Frank Zingen. Grant Humphrey in 13th. Michael Wolf 14th. Alan Harris rounding out the top 15. Chris Progar in 16th. 17th going to Jeff Pogo. Joe Hudson will round out in 18th. 19th will be Jason Harrison. Brandon Guerin rounding out the top 20. Todd Perot, 21st. Evan Fuquay, 22nd. Dylan Hinton, 23rd. Arabia Caton, 24th. Nick Barton in 25th. Eli Raposa will bring home 26th. Chris Muse will bring home 27th. And then the drivers that did not finish there at the end, Donald Sieben, 28th. Dan George, 29th. Jim Ott, 30th. Nate Brooker, 31st. So that will do it for tonight's race results. And yeah, we got to thank all the racers coming out here tonight, putting on the show. Appreciate every single one of you guys. Also got to give a shout out to the league admins, as well as you guys, the viewers watching at home. Appreciate each and every one of you, whether you're watching live or on the replay. It's always great to have you, and we look forward to seeing you next Sunday night at Nashville Super Speedway. We, of course, also got to thank some partners, first with the league, that being BG Graphix, Riptide Radio, GStone Motorsports, Admin Boxx, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram, and of course Rock Pirates RC, as well as with Turn 3 Racing Network. We got to thank our partnership with Premier Setup Shops. You can find out more with clicking the link in the description, and if you want to find out a little information, go rewatch your commercial or just check out their website, as a click would go a long way. So yeah, that will do it. After a week's break, we pick things off right where we left off as Josh Parker picks up yet another checkered flag on the season. Like I said, of course, we'll be racing once again next Sunday night at Nashville. So that will do it here tonight. I've been Brett the Jet in the booth with Turn 3 Racing Network. Everyone take care, stay safe, have a great rest of your week. And I just flew by you. Have a good one.
Premier Racing Setups is the longest running setup shop on iRacing. Our monthly subscription options start as low as $20 a month. We offer setups for dirt oval, asphalt oval, and road racing, covering a wide range of cars and skill levels. Built and tested by top-tier sim racers, this isn't just a business,